everybody. Your pre exam hopefully has gone well. Now get ready for mains, which is hardly 100 days away from now. Every day is important, every hour is important. Utilize it properly, productively, and in a focused manner, and I can assure you that you will perform much better than what you think now. I am discussing about the possible questions which may be considered by UPSC for this year mains. Every year I give a projection, and I'm very happy to say that if not all, but definitely majority of my projections come out to be correct. And those who follow my suggestions and projections for preparation, normally they don't find much problem in answering the questions, or they don't feel nervous by seeing the question paper. So today I am discussing here the first paper, which has two parts, Section A and Section B. Section A is about political theory, and Section B is about Indian government and politics. In political theory, there are three parts. First part is about the very general principles, theory, and main concerns of political science, like equality, democracy, power, justice, and what is political theory itself, why there is a subject called political science. And then it goes for various shades of theories like liberalism, Marxism, then feminism, and neoliberalism, that kind of thing that goes. Then it comes to Indian thinkers, and it ends with Western political thinkers. So these three major parts are there in the syllabus, and the questions come mostly within syllabus. UPSC normally doesn't go beyond syllabus, but there are certain peripheral areas to this syllabus, to this curriculum, which definitely evokes interest for UPSC to give questions, and there is nothing wrong in that, like multiculturalism, which is very close to pluralism, or the end of history of Fukuyama, which is very close to liberalism, or maybe New Left, which is a more advanced level of debates on Marxism. So definitely those things also come, and also sometime it covers post-colonialism and postmodernism, which is taking the discourse or deep discussion on political science to the next level. So anybody who is, learning this subject is expected that he will look into those areas where this particular subject is moving forward, is it not? So therefore, don't think that UPSC doing something wrong. It is going on really very well. In political theory, that is Section A, there are 8 chapters. Within that 8 chapters, there are several topics. The first one is political theory. Next one is theories of state. Now, from the political theory, last year behavioralism came. Then last year normative approach came. So I think that this year empirical approach and normative approach comparison is a possibility, and there are positivist, idealist, liberal, all this theory would be important. And also there is the David Easton's concept, the resurgence of political science and its decline. That is also important. These are not very difficult topics. So if somebody really gives a little serious reading, they can easily pick them up. Then in theory of state, liberal, neoliberal is very important, because whole syllabus is basically developed on this liberal approach. It's a liberal heavy syllabus because India is a liberal state. And also there are certain related things like pluralism, then multiculturalism. One should even read them. In this context, post-colonialism and postmodern, they become important. Then there is a chapter on justice. And justice is basically dealing with John Rawls' concept of justice. And John Rawls' concept of justice, every time I say, is spread over many sub-concepts. Each sub-concept can be a full-fledged question, and each segment of it is equally important. So while overall the justice concept covers all these aspects, but each aspect can have a separate question also. So therefore, one must understand John Rawls very well. It is important. And then there is equality and rights. And equality, you all know that social, political, economic equality will be basically the focus. And then rights are also linked with human rights in the syllabus. So therefore, most of the questions you will see that are coming from human rights, but also it can come with rights and human rights relations, and separately on human rights and then separately on rights. So these are all very simple areas. Only it requires reading and proper guidance, because somebody will have to make you understand it in a very simpler way. Nearly bookish knowledge will not work. You'll have to internalize it. You'll have to realize it. You'll have to understand it properly and in a way so that whatever may be the question, you will be able to articulate the answer. And then definitely answer writing is a different exercise. There is another chapter called democracy. And there are 8-9 types of democracy, and a lot of debates on democracy, a lot of experiments on democracy. And UPSC normally gives a question on democracy, but rotationally changing the subject matter. So please go through them, like there is deliberative, participatory, representative. Even they have given once judicial democracy kind of question. So one must, even they have given that Robert Dahl's America focused the polyarchy concept. So they can really work on it, and anybody in today's democratic world must have a little better idea on democracy. And then there is a concept of power, and power is a subject which is which is a cross-cutting subject, okay, which is everywhere in political science, and it can definitely expect a question. And here in the syllabus, power is linked with legitimacy and authority, and there can be a combined questions by mixing up any two of these or all three of them. So therefore, one should be very careful when reading it, because distinct understanding of power, legitimacy and authority is very important. The last of this section is political ideology. One must have some idea already. Wherever you are reading, you will get a lot of idea about them, but still you'll have to know them separately also, like what is socialism, what are its salient features, what is Marxism, what is feminism, what is behavioralism, all these things one must know more categorically in this way, and how they become an ideology, why they are called a political ideology. That understanding is very clear. Once you are very clear about that, then I am telling you, the question will not be able to make you scared. And then there are Indian thinkers which are covered other than Ambedkar and Gandhi. And none of them is really worked on theory, okay, which is political theory. Ambedkar is a great personality, and Gandhi is a great personality. Whatever Gandhi has done, he has tried to theorize it. And Ambedkar was a great learned man, therefore he had a clear idea about many of the political thoughts, political theories, and he gave social justice theory. Gandhi gave non-violence theory, and they are also important. But last time you have seen that Syed Ahmed came, so, and Amin Rai and Aravind have not come, so they can also be part of it. Gandhi is very regular, okay, when Ambedkar is very regular. apart from that, within Indian political thought, there is an ancient India, like, Kautilya, Dharmashastra, Buddhism, okay, and, you must, these are all very simple area, but, only thing is that very careful reading, between the lines reading, between the words reading is very important to write good answers, means number fetching answers. So Buddhist thought and Syed Ahmed came last time, so I have doubt whether they will be again repeated this year. But definitely Dharmashastra, Kautilya, they have a chance, and Dharmashastra, Buddhism, Dharmashastra and Arthashastra, there can be a comparison. So these are the areas which one can look at, and then the political theory, Western political theory, where a number of them, Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke, John Locke, then utilitarianism, Marx, Gramsci, Hanna. Okay, and not that all of them come every year. They also come sometime, in different way, in a rotational way, and you should see that which one can be important here. Marx comes very regularly because Marx has a lot of scope to to find a question from there. So therefore Marx comes very repeatedly. Sometime Marx is coming with maybe some other related subject. Last time Aristotle came, so this time possibility is less. Plato may come, Machiavelli may come, and social contract theory or Hobbes and Locke have not come. So you can expect a question on them also. And then of course Gramsci and Hanna, they have not been covered in last 1 or 2 years. So you must look at them. And then I believe, but specifically I would say that you look at Plato, Locke, then Hobbes, then Gramsci, Hanna, and definitely expected, not definitely, expected that you would get some questions from this side. So this is what is political theory. Mostly UPSC gives straightforward questions within syllabus, but that doesn't mean that they will not give some other questions. And what they do sometime, they blend two subjects, okay, and very intelligently they put the questions, and if somebody overlooks them, then the answer will be wrong. For example, they gave a question, can there be universal concept of human rights? Okay. Now, apparently it looks like a simple question, but not simple. Now, whether human rights can be, universal, or it should be nation-specific, society-specific. Now, if human rights become society-specific, then in universality goes. But UN Charter says, or UN Declaration of Human Rights says that it is universal. Now, UN also passed another one that is called cultural rights of the people. Now, when cultural rights of the people and universality of human rights, they come in conflict, then who will prevail? Cultural rights will prevail, and it will reduce human rights, or it will affect human rights universality, or human rights will prevail over cultural rights, so that the local rights, community rights will be underestimated under human rights regime. So unless somebody goes into this debate and articulates it properly within that word limit that is given, then the answer will not fetch number. In 2018 there is a question, that unless political democracy is blended with social democracy, then there is no meaning. Okay, it's Ambedkar's concept. Now somebody will have to know that what is political democracy, what are its salient features, and what is social democracy, what are its social features. When they come together, and why there is a question that they should be brought together, that means there may be a possibility that they work separately or they function separately. So unless you know this way, you will not be able to answer. Then there is another area that sometime they pick a person, okay, and use that person's concept, like Macpherson's concept on democracy. Okay, that means you have to know that what Macpherson said about that. If you don't know, then you have. But it's a straightforward question. But there is no way to answer them. Okay, so these are the areas you'll have to know. If you carefully notice, that not this is often a question comes to us, that how to use citations, and people go for huge list of citations. Every author they find, they are making a comment, then try to include it, and this is an unending process. Okay, and you will get finally lost. Now, if you carefully notice, within the syllabus, you have around 20-25 thinkers' name. Okay, and its peripheral, there may be another 20 names. So if you work with these 25 and 25 in the syllabus, like Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, like Aristotle will be a critic of Plato, okay, or Locke will be a critic of Hobbes, okay, or Marx will be a critical of liberalism, feminist will be a critical of John Locke. If you think that way, okay, then you will be finding lot of thinkers there. And then peripheral, like there are communitarians, you can use them. There are feminists, you can use them. There are pluralists, there are multiculturalists, you can use them. So that way you will get another 20-25. So around 40-45 you can easily work on, and keep on working on them, and try to see that in how many places, in how many types of questions really they can be used. Okay, and you have only scope to use them for one sentence or maybe two sentences. It's not that they are big quotations you require. You read big quotations, but pick up only the key words or key message out of that quotation and use it. So these things will come through exercise and mentoring. Okay, you need somebody who will help you to learn them properly. If you prepare this way, then I am telling you, nobody can deprive you of good marks in political theory. You will give very intelligent question, like last year they have given that make a comparison from the concept of justice from Greek debate to John Rawls. It's a huge canvas, and you have maximum 300 plus 320, 30 words in hand. Now, how to present the whole thing in that? Okay, these requires a lot of thinking. In the exam hall, you cannot think about them. So you have to practice, again and again, that how to deal with this kind of questions. Normally, I see that students look for easy questions. I am telling you that easy questions will help you to write it easily, but not get good numbers so easily. Okay, so if you practice or only look for easy questions, then I'm telling you, if you get a difficult question, you will get lost, and that will not be very beneficial for you. But if you blend that critical questions and easy question, and also questions which are neither so difficult, not so easy, then maybe you will be making a more balancing approach in your preparation, and that may help you to get better number. So this is in brief. If there is any help you require, you can contact me over phone or over other way, and definitely I will see that if I can give you some input, some insight, but definitely I will not be able to afford lot of time for you. Okay, but definitely I will try to help you. So thank you very much. Then my next video is on Indian government and politics.